Madam Dr. Chauhan, our very distinguished Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Dr. Singh, on the dais, Dr. Madam Dar, Madam Arora, my friend Dr. Dar in the audience here, Dr. R.P. Singh ji, Dr. Arora, Dr. Malti Goyal ji, Madam Meenakshi Rawal ji, our very distinguished invitees to this concluding session of a very important event modeling United Nations, and that too by putting our youth together to envision a better tomorrow, a better world tomorrow. I really feel highly privileged to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a matter of great honor for me to be here with you this evening, especially that we are concluding today the model United Nations, and that too through the vision and understanding of the youth of our country as well as youth of many other countries who have participated in this great event. Therefore, at the outset, let me congratulate all those who have dared to be part of this great event and to deliberate and discuss variety of issues with which the world today is confronted, the nations of the world today are confronted. I'm sure you must have given your thought to what kind of world you want to see ahead of you, especially that you are currently at your school and you would be graduating tomorrow, and thereafter you will be part of a global world where you would like to see many things much better than what they are today. I also wish to congratulate Amity International School, its chairperson, Madam Chauhan, all the members of the faculty of the Amity University, and all those who have taken such a great initiative to organize this event here in this great university. Let me therefore take you to the kind of challenges which people like you would face. When I was like you at school at that time, we were of course a nation which has received freedom at midnight, and we had very high expectations from the youth of our country. Everybody used to expect that let the youth of India educate itself and take up the task of building a great India. People expected that we would mastermind all the subject matter which will be given to us at the school level and thereafter at the college level. Sky was the limit for people to rise, but then there were many constraints. Everybody could not dare go to a good school. Everybody could not dare make it to a good university, and we had several hurdles in front of us. At that time, there were more worries. What would be India of tomorrow, especially when I graduated from a college of engineering? Nobody coming for placements at that time and picking you up right from the doorstep of your institution. We were really worried so much at that time that we could hardly envision future, hardly envision what would be a tomorrow in which we would trade and transact. But you are very fortunate. You people belong to a new age in which, of course, you have a tremendous amount of anxiety, but at the same time, you are empowered to look at tomorrow's world from a very different set of perspective. You all want to live in a world which must be a prosperous world. Prosperity cannot be undermined for people who are young today. If half the world population is young, you all want to be very prosperous. But remember that prosperity alone is not the sufficient condition for creating a happy world, a happy society, for happiness and plenty which we want to create for our people around the world. Prosperity is not the sufficient condition for creating happiness. You have to ensure that prosperity is what we call fair prosperity. If the prosperity is fair, then you will create happiness and plenty. On the other hand, if prosperity is unfair, you would create unhappiness and plenty. And therefore, the kind of world which you want to see and where all nations of the world want to see, a world in which fair prosperity rises to the pinnacle of glory. Let the whole world be prosperous. Let every person, a citizen of the global world, be prosperous. But at the same time, he must have prosperity, what I label as fair prosperity. If you create fair prosperity, then you have to be a different kind of citizens of the world than perhaps we are today. Because fair prosperity requires that you have to inculcate values. You have to understand the value and worth of living in a society where you respect life. You have tremendous amount of respect for life. You have tremendous of respect for opinion of other people. And you live in a society where you conform to the dictates which our forefathers have laid down way back during the Vedic time. We were perhaps the only country where we wrote PhD and DSc theses on the concept of truth, on the concept of non-violence, on the concept of peace. And just remember, if these were echoed right at the beginning of the dawns of civilization, perhaps the signals were set right, that without conforming to truthfulness, you have to be truthful to yourself, you have to be truthful to your society, you have to be truthful to the people for whom you work, and you have to be truthful to God Almighty who has created you. And therefore, the truth was non-negotiable at that time. Fair prosperity requires unconditional commitment to the cause of truth. Remember what our own great Mahatma Gandhiji has said. For him, truth was non-negotiable. He would be prepared to die, but would not be prepared to kill anyone. That was the kind of commitment he had. That is called absolute submission to the concept of respecting life to be a reality, and respecting life to be truth. And therefore, really speaking, as citizens of global world tomorrow, you have to understand what is that which is non-negotiable. You cannot negotiate between one country and another without having an unconditional commitment to non-negotiable. Truth is non-negotiable. Peace is not non-negotiable. You cannot negotiate on peace. You cannot buy peace. You have to create a world in which peace will prevail because of the behavioral pattern of people, because of the commitment of nations to have peace, and because of the commitment of people and their nations to understand the peaceful coexistence. The principle of peaceful coexistence is very important. But then remember that peace, prosperity, respect for life cannot be just merely a wishful thinking. You have to be submitting to another non-negotiable. And for this, I advise all my youngsters present from different countries, the ambassadors, the excellencies from different countries, to understand that caring concern for environment is non-negotiable. You cannot create layers of happiness for yourself without showing unconditional commitment to the care and concern for nature, for environment in which you want to live happily. You cannot breathe tomorrow with happiness of the kind which you desire if you neglect the concern for environment. And therefore the United Nations, in my opinion, is a wonderful opportunity for the nations to come together, understand what are non-negotiable, and then resolve the issues which you have in front of you. You must also understand that you will be citizens of tomorrow where you will have tremendous amount of wealth around you.